I say it's showtime.
Right, there you go.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call to order our first hearing of the evening. This is an application by Kirsten Laura Boyd of 4 Elias Lane in Milton. The application is dated 8/21/18, and the applicant is seeking a variance to install a hot tub, a deck, off of the terrace portion of their backyard, and there are dimensional issues involved. I'm not going to read that entirely because in the interim we received a letter from Ms. Boyd, which I'll read into the record, but let me just handle some of the ceremonies. My name is John Leonard. I'm chairman of the Board of Appeals. To my immediate left is board member Emmanuel Alves, and to my immediate right is board member Ted Daber. The rules of the board will hear from the applicant normally. People who are interested in the application who have questions, want to speak in support, want to speak in opposition, we're tape recording everything tonight, so that would ask that anyone who wishes to speak, tell us your name and address, speak up nice and loud and clear, even though we don't have an enormous crowd tonight, so that we will know who you are, and we can, if we have to revert to the tape, we can do so. That all being said, normally I talk about the evidence that has been submitted. Let me ask one question, and that is Kirsten Boyd present tonight? Okay, I didn't think she was. Because on September 25, 2018, after we advertised the first advertisement for this application, we received a letter from Ms. Boyd, and it reads as follows. We are no longer moving forward with a spa deck for 4 Elias Lane in Milton, that's their residence. We no longer need to attend the Board of Appeals meeting on October 4th, 2018. Well, that's their preference. We will be doing landscaping pavers for a patio in that area to comply with standards. I appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you. And it's signed by Kirsten Boyd, together with Matt DeMello, her general contractor. So we thank Ms. Boyd for sending the letter. Let me ask this question. Is there anybody out there who is interested in the issue of the withdrawal of this application or wants to be heard? And there is no such person present. Let me talk to my colleagues. Mr. Alves, do you have any questions about this process? Or
Not.
Mr. Daber?
No, sir.
Mr. Daber has no questions. I certainly don't have any questions. Is there any discussion on this motion by the board members? No discussion. Okay. So Ms. Kirsten Boyd did not specifically ask in her withdrawal letter that this be withdrawn without prejudice. But we're going to do that because otherwise she'd be delayed if she changes her mind next month. So all those in favor of allowing Ms. Boyd's, and she's entitled to do that, there's nothing wrong with it, we just have to re-advertise the application. So all those in favor of granting Ms. Boyd's application, a motion to withdraw this application without prejudice, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the motion is allowed. We have a withdrawal here, which we'll sign and put in the file. And if there's no further issues on this Mrs. Boyd's application, we're going to go into recess for about 11 minutes because it's 7:34. Our next hearing is 7:45, and very technically we shouldn't be starting the 7:45 meeting at 7:30 if people want to attend the meeting. So we'll be resuming our open session here promptly at 7:45.
You don't know the games tonight?
Well, I know, it's just terrible.
I'm just saying, sir.
I just don't want to handle the 7:45 matter and have somebody come in when we're on our third hearing and say, oh, it's only 7:48 and I wanted to be heard on that application. It just creates it's a nightmare. So now we're down to 10 minutes and counting. So we're going to be in recess until 7:45. Alrighty, we're at 7:45, and we're all set to start our second hearing. I can tell you it's remarkable when we start our second hearing right at 7:45, so we're making progress. This is the application of Michelle Anderson Wilkins, who lives at 65 Craig Street, and looking for a variance. The applicant here is proposing to build a second-floor addition. And it will be located at 19.3 feet from the rear lot line. Normally, the building code requires, at least the zoning code requires 30 feet from the rear property line. However, there's also a formula that always confuses me, that no building has to be set back more than a distance of 30, a percentage of 30 feet of the average depth of the lot. Here, the average depth of this lot is 87 feet, and therefore the required setback is 26.1 feet rather than the 30-foot setback. So that's what's being asked for here. We have the application, as evidence at this hearing, we have the application dated July 31st, 2018. We have a denial letter by Mr. Prandak, dated July 25, 2018. I'm always amused that our denial letters many times precede the application, but I guess that's the way it works. We have a plot plan by Michael Paul Antonino, who's well known to the board, dated March 26, 2018, showing the property at the corner of Craig Street and Kevin Road, showing the proposed addition and all of the various dimensions. And we have some plans of the Wilkins residence prepared by Level 9 Design of Pembroke, Massachusetts, showing the elevations. A1, we have another elevations plan. We have A3, a floor plan showing the various floors of the building. We have an A4, another floor plan. And these plans are dated July 8, 2018. So we thank the folks at Level 9 Design and the applicant for submitting all of this information. The rules for this hearing will be just as all hearings. I was going to say at the last hearing, but we didn't have much of a hearing. We'll hear from the applicant, then we'll hear from people who have questions of the applicant. We'll listen to people who wish to speak in support of this variance application, and anyone who either wishes to speak in opposition to this variance application. We're tape recording the proceedings. So everyone tell us your name and address before you speak, nice and clear and loud. I didn't introduce the board. We have such a warm group out there. I know who we are, but my name's John Leonard. I'll be sitting as chairman here. To my immediate right, board member Ted Daber, and to my immediate left, board member Emmanuel Alf. So without further ado, Miss Michelle Anderson Wilkins, are you going to present your own application, or do you have somebody who's going to present it for you?
We can present, I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we can present. Okay.
So who's going to be the victim? Who's going to speak? Okay, how about this? Ms. Wilkins, why don't you come up here, sit there?
I get to sit at the table
yes, sir,
now, thank you.
You sit here, and why don't you
Excuse
come up
my
and sit?
attire tonight. I'm a school teacher. I'm tired and
School
I'm
teacher.
sick.
Oh.
Yes.
My wife was a school teacher for 40 years, but you're not going to get any sympathy.
Oh, I'm just saying I'm tired and I'm
Well,
sick.
Why doesn't everybody introduce themselves and we'll get going? You're Miss Wilkins.
I'm Michelle Wilkins.
Okay, and
yes.
where do you live?
65 Craig Street, Milton, Mass.
Okay, great.
And I'm Mr. Wilkins, 65 Craig Street.
Okay, great.
And I'm Charlie Haskins, the owner, designer of Level 9 Design, and I've worked with the Wilkins on this project.
Great, well, thank you for coming down. That's
You're
always, it's always good. A lot of times board members look at these various designs and have more questions of the
Sure.
designer than they do the applicants, because they like the designs.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us what this application's all about and why the board should grant the variance?
Okay, basically what this is about, I mean, we got denied, she needed a walk-in closet, which is over an existing structure. And, I mean, she needs the closet because otherwise I will be able to have to live on the street. But anyway.
So you're not going to use this closet?
No,
Oh,
it's
I have-
my walk-in
I have
closet.
absolutely
and
no
I need-
use in the closet. I'm not using it, it's for her.
No shoes in the closet or?
Nothing.
That's the
nothing.
thing, I have too many shoes.
Oh, nothing at all, no,
Strictly
nothing at all.
It is strictly
No.
my closet.
I may look in
His
the
is on
closet,
the other
I
side.
might walk over and look in the closet, that's about it.
You can't even,
But,
You're a truthful man. Do you want to be a judge or something?
not at all, not at all, no, but, basically, there was this structure already there, it was a back porch already there. And, basically what we're doing, and we're building right over the existing structure, which is the back porch.
Okay, and how long have you owned the house?
12
12 years?
12 years, oh, okay, great. And you love your design?
Oh, we
Yes.
love our designer, he's here with us tonight, he's amazing,
That's wonderful.
absolutely.
And this designer is Level 9 Design.
they keep saying it. Yes. He keeps saying it.
Okay, that's great. So, Ms. Wilkins, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Honestly, I just really need my walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Like I don't, if I can't have my walk-in closet, I don't even want to do this. Like, no, and it could be a girly thing, like maybe you can understand what I'm saying.
I'd never say that. You'd run me off the board.
But no, but I need my own space. Like he needs to be over there and I need to have my own. And right now, I feel like our family has grown and our kids are getting older.
Good, how old are your kids?
We have an 8-year-old,
Yep.
a 12-year-old, and a 14-year-old.
Wow, okay.
And we've
Can they
outgrown
use
the
the
house.
walk-in closet?
Yeah, in my space.
No, you didn't get it.
I missed it. Oh, I missed it.
Tricked you, it was a lawyer's trick.
Don't drink.
He's like, oh, the kids are gonna use the walk-in closet?
No, they better stay on their side of the
Over
wing
their
of the
place.
house. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any,
Yeah, the only thing I would say to Michelle and Michael's conversation with this is when I first met them and we talked about what they wanted from their home, part of my design, when I started the project, obviously I saw what was there available. And my instinct was just to build directly over a structure that was already there. And I knew that we weren't going to encroach beyond what was already there, even though it was a non-conforming situation. So, and it really worked out good to be able, if we could be able to do that. It does lend a nice closet for Michelle. And I will say one more thing, that when we did start this project, this closet was to be the most important part of the design. It's the running joke that we have. But
It
anyway,
is it's a running joke between them. It's
Yeah.
not funny to me. It's
No, it's
funny
actually-
to them.
it's actually not
because
funny at
his
all.
closet is this much and mine is like.
But my only consideration with the second floor addition was the fact that it did sit directly over an existing first floor, and I didn't consider intending going beyond that.
So
Mr. Alves?
you're not extending at all beyond
Not
the existing?
directly
it's just
going
straight
up. Yeah,
In
the
the
roof
existing
system,
You're in the
footprint.
footprint.
I'm within the existing non-conforming footprint, and the roof is not going to encroach even beyond, or gutters or anything. Essentially, we're replicating what was there on the first floor, but on the second floor with a new roof.
Okay, that's great. Mr. Alves, do you have any more questions of the applicants? of the owners,
Just
or-
some preliminaries. I assume the finish will conform to the existing structure?
Yeah,
Will
the
the-
siding is, I'm not sure what siding has been determined to be put on the building, but it will conform exactly. The intent is to make it look like it's always been there.
Okay. And what will the roof be? What sort of roof
The
tiles?
roof will be a conventional, I think I show it, a conventional A-frame that's matching existing, the new pitch conditions of the addition. It shows symmetry.
Have you spoken to any of your neighbors about this?
Do your neighbors love the
course.
project?
Yeah,
They love the
They
project.
laughed at us.
They were,
They were cracking on
Can we
us.
be
I was
honest?
like,
Can we be honest? So they
Be
were kind
honest.
of, they came over, they says, why are we giving you something? Why are they giving you a hard time? You guys got your kids. But anyway,
and they said, "Oh, we're
That was the
jealous,"
running-
and
that
then
was
they
the
said
running
that they
joke.
wanted to do the same
so
thing
you'll be
too.
having another hearing
all
like
right.
this from all of our neighbors.
From
They-
across
they-
the street. They
said,
wanna
"Oh,
do
we're
the
gonna
same thing."
Should have told your neighbors, go see Mr. Prondak. Don't, if you have any questions about what's going on, go see the building commissioner. Okay, that's great. Ted, do you have any questions of the applicants?
No, so you talked to the people on both sides of you and
And they-
everybody
On
close?
this side and
They
across the
endorse.
street.
Three sides, all.
Okay,
Okay, great.
and you don't have any signed petitions or anything? Sometimes
But
people
they're all
run
in favor
around
of
with the neighbors and get signed petitions, but they're not required. Okay, I have no questions. Let me see, is there anybody present this evening who has any questions of the applicants? None? Anybody present who wishes to speak in support of the application? None? Well, you're
I
already
need it.
speaking in
It's
support.
detrimental.
Is there anyone present who either has questions of the applicant, wishes, the applicants, or wishes to speak in opposition to this variance application? Okay, there's nobody present, so most people, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just,
Most people quit while they're ahead.
no, I'm just trying to. I'm just stopping
Yeah.
because I'm trying to get excited, but I can't. 'Cause I'm not sure.
Well, we'll give you a few more minutes of exquisite tension. It's our obligation to discuss this application in open session and to vote on it, and we intend to do that here and now. So, Mr. Alves, do you want to be heard first?
Sure. The need is obviously clear. It's been established. Well presented, thank you. I think this will be a nice addition to the property. I'm inclined to vote in favor of the application.
Mr. Dable?
I agree, the plans are very well done. The fact that it's within the existing footprint and the first floor is already located 19 feet, it's already non-conforming. I'm inclined to vote in favor of it.
Okay, well, I think this application has been exceptionally well presented. There's certainly a need for it. We have more of these calculation of the backyards than many times we do special permit applications. I don't think this is a major league issue with respect to this application. I also have a confession to make. I put in a new bathroom with a walk-in closet
See,
that looks like this one,
see,
and it's
get it.
fabulous.
See, you get it.
Fabulous.
I was dying to slow down. I
Great,
couldn't
it's
breathe.
wonderful, it's airy, it's open. And my wife gave me one little section where I could put a couple of sneakers, but it's great. It's really wonderful. So I think this is well worthy of our discretion in granting this variance. I intend to vote for it. I should just tell you a couple of things. Number one, we always put a condition in there that the improvement here is going to be in substantial conformity with the plans that you've submitted, so that if you're going to make small tweaks, that's probably all right, speak with Mr. Prondak. But if you're making changes that you have any questions about, clear that with Mr. Prondak
Yeah, I've been in
first.
close communication with Mr. Prondak, and I'll submit some addendum plans for this portion of the addition.
Okay, that's
Speak
great,
with him.
because we leave a lot of discretion with Joe, but what I don't want to see happen is some major change and all of a sudden it doesn't conform to the advertising.
Yeah, there'll be none of that. It is as presented. It will be as presented.
So all those in favor of granting this application for variance with the usual conditions, please say aye.
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 Aye. The other thing I should tell you is that, very technically speaking, you can't pull your building permit for 20 days, okay? We write these decisions, they're not cut and paste jobs, so it probably takes 10 days to write the decision. It's got to be circulated, we all sign it.
Yep.
It gets filed with Ms. Galvin, the town clerk, and even though nobody has appeared in opposition to your variance application, and in all probability, nobody ever will. The building permit can't issue until that 20-day period has expired. When it does expire and you get your variance, make sure you record it in the registry of deeds, so your title's kept up to date.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
And in that 20-day period, if your designer or your builder wants to do some prep work or whatever, just make sure that's cleared with Mr. Prondak, and whatever he says is fine with us. So,
Congrats.
congratulations.
Can I shake your hand? I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Nice to have met you.
Go Pats.
Thanks for coming. And
Thank you, sir.
Emotional. Congratulations.
thank you.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We love school teachers.
Yeah.
You deserve it. It's wonderful.
Thank you for everything, too. I appreciate it.
That's
Thank you
great.
so much for your consideration.
So stressed. This was stressful.
Pleasure to meet you guys. You guys
Pleasure to
made
meet
my
you.
life a lot better. Trust me.
I don't know who's happier.
Where are you gonna put your closet?
My closet's probably this size. It's okay. It's not about me.
That's exactly.
It's about you.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
Good night.
Good night.
Everybody, thank you so much.
Go Pats.
Yeah, go Pats.
Yep.
Who wants to write this?
I'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
You want that?
No, it's up to you.
Okay.
Okay, if you want, yeah. So what do we have here?
This one is, this is the,
Oh, this is a difficult application.
problematic.
I don't know. All righty, give me 2 seconds here, we'll start this one. Things usually don't go this smoothly, I have to tell you.
You know what? I think it's wonderful. Just plowing right through.
Oh. We all set, Bev? Okay, we're going to call to order our third and final hearing of the evening. This is the application of Janet Folks, who resides, I believe, at 1016 Canton Avenue, and the applicant is proposing to build a 25-foot by 25-foot one-story detached garage to the rear of her property, and the plan shows that this garage is to be built at a distance of 5 feet off the lot line, which abuts Park Street, and that the Milton zoning bylaw, section 6C3, says that portions of such buildings or garages shall be set back a minimum distance of 25 feet from the lot line when the sideline, when it abuts an intersecting street. So therefore, a variance is required. My name is John Leonard. I'm chairman of the Board of Appeals. To my right, board member Ted David. To my left, board member Emmanuel Alves. Rules of the board, just like the other hearings, hear from the applicant. People have questions. People want to speak in support. People want to speak in opposition. Tape recording everything, so speak up nice and clear and loud. As evidence at the hearing, we have an 8/21/18 application by Janet Folks. we have an August 10. 18 denial by Joseph Prondak, a building inspector. We have a plot plan of the property drawn by E. Calabro, a professional land surveyor, dated 8/10/94. So on which is the existing garage is shown and the new garage is superimposed on the existing garage. So even though this is an older plan, it's been updated.
Well, there's actually never been a garage there during my ownership.
Oh, that's-
We bought the house in '94, and there is a garage pad.
Okay, just the pad. Okay.
So apparently the garage burnt down sometime circa 1940.
Okay. So let me just say, we also have a design by, is it Beam or BEM? A design is, and it shows prototype garage. Is that what you intend to build here?
Something very similar, yeah. It's basically those dimensions. I don't know whether or not it's going to actually have the dormer at this point. That's going to be,
Kind of looks nice.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, the dormer
lost
looks, it looks very crystal.
It kind of goes with the house.
Why don't we introduce you? Your name is?
I'm Janet Folks.
Okay, and you're the applicant.
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Welcome to the Board of Appeals. So why don't you tell us about your property, the history of the property, and why you'd like to have this variance allowed?
Well, at some point, there was a garage there. If we were to try and build it on the existing garage pad footprint, it would still be not conforming.
And would it be large enough to put an automobile in? Or?
Not large enough to put two. You could put one. Probably way back when it was originally built, that was the standard.
The state of the art.
The state of the art, exactly. So it is really the only place on the property where a garage can go. There is a tree, an oak, which is estimated at being over 200 years old, where if we were to put the garage in a conforming place on the property, the tree would have to go. And
I don't know. Can you chop down a 200-year-old oak?
I don't know whether you can or
I
not.
don't know. That's legal.
I think it would have to probably, meet its own,
You
meet
have to
its
go to the
make.
Historical Commission, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're very thorough with this tree. We trim it every year, we make sure it's a happy tree.
How wide is it around the base?
Probably at least a third of this table. I mean, it's huge. And it's right on the edge of the driveway. So if it was going to conform, based on the way the lot is, I'm not actually sure I could put a garage anyplace on that lot where it wouldn't need a variance.
And the garage you propose is superimposed on about 75 foot of the existing floor of the garage, right?
Yes.
And it's just that you're making a garage that's 25 feet so that it can accommodate 2 automobiles?
Correct.
And how do those automobiles access the garage?
Through the existing driveway.
And the existing driveway is to the left of the house? is it?
The existing driveway is off of Park Street.
Okay.
So if you turn onto Park Street, you take an immediate right into my driveway.
And is that after you go by the house?
Yes.
Okay, so it's right in between the house and the garage.
Before the bushes.
Yeah, before the bushes.
Before the
Doesn't-
bushes
it
and
doesn't
before the
show
neighbor,
here.
yes. And the bushes, by the way, are gone. Those, that row of I think it was hemlocks, got some hemlock disease like 10 years ago and had to go.
Oh, okay, all right, that's right, that's because we're using an older,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but it seemed like it was expedient.
The entrance is somewhere in here? The driveway?
Yeah,
Oh. Beyond the house?
So,
There's a spark?
it's basically, this is the driveway, it goes like that.
Okay, so there's this.
Yep. And there's a little parking place right there.
Got it.
Can I ask another question? Could you also mark approximately where the tree is? Would you be able to do that?
Right here where the P for parcel is, would be about where the tree is. The tree's right about there.
This location, yeah.
Yeah, right about there.
So you're saying that if the garage was moved over,
Move it this way.
you wouldn't be able to get into it? Is that what you're saying?
Right, because
Yeah.
the tree would be,
because of the tree.
Because the way the tree is. The tree's really butting up against the driveway, as it is right now.
got it. It's not that the construction could be done, it's the access to the garage that would be impeded.
Correct.
Okay, and the dimensions of the garage, 25 by 25?
Would be the maximum. It's probably going to be more like 24 by 24.
Okay, it's not going to be larger than 25 by 25?
No, oh no, good grief, no.
Okay, and the planned prototype for the garage is something along this line?
Yes, we would like, I want to have the lowest profile I can.
All right. And is this a prefabricated garage?
At this stage of the game, I don't know how we're going to go about that. I've spoken with a builder who gave me a price which had me faint. And then, so now we're going to look at,
But you're on Upper Canton Avenue. That's,
garage is
that's
a
rarefied,
garage.
that's rarefied territory for
Yes.
builders.
It's the upper Canton tax.
Although, well, as Jimmy Mullen used to say, it's Precinct 5, the last frontier. But I'm only in Upper Canton Ave by 3 houses.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Okay. The only thing I was going to mention is you've got to be, if it is a prefab garage, you have to be a little careful and then make sure not only that it's dimensionally conforming and make sure it's being placed in the right place.
Oh,
Because we had one of these garages, not that, it may have been a shed, but it was from a famous shed company in New Hampshire. And they came and put the shed in a place where it was not lawful to do it. And they didn't get a building permit because they didn't think they needed it because they were dropping the shed off as a truck. Or maybe it's in 2 pieces and they assembled it. So if it's going to be a prefab, just make sure that it dimensionally conforms and that it's going to be positioned properly, so it can be inspected by Mr. Prondak and his associates, because you don't want the shed people or the garage people to be back in Vermont or New Hampshire and have Joe say you've got to.
6 inches that way, yeah.
Yeah, or
no,
take it, you got to move it, it's just terrible. Manny, do you have any questions of the applicant?
The neighbor across the street on this side, did you speak to them?
I did. I spoke with them. They're
who's
new. Pardon?
Who is it?
Chu?
Sure.
CHIU.
Okay.
She's Yvonne. I didn't speak with him directly. He's not well. So, she's lovely. They just bought that house from the Dennises a year or so ago and have done a beautiful job of rehabbing it. So I've spoken with her. She's fine with it, no problem. And I spoke with the Moylans, who are on the back lot line. And I sent them a copy of the plan along with a letter that said that we were having the hearing this evening. I spoke to him in person. I said, I hope you don't object, but if you do, this is when the hearing is. And I have not heard that they have any objection.
Okay.
No further questions.
Mr. Davis?
Okay, so in that area where on this plan it shows the hemlocks, there's no
There's nothing.
bushes or anything?
There's
or
no
screening
bushes,
or
there's no fence, there's nothing.
anything? And there's a sidewalk there, right?
There's a
When it gets
sidewalk.
in the- Yeah, okay.
So this whole structure will be visible to the Jews. There's no fencing of any kind.
There's nothing.
And there's no way it could, just so you've kind of said it, but I just want to ask it again. There's no way it could be moved over to the other side or in the middle or in another location in the back there without having to chop down the tree?
Or making the vast majority of the entire backyard a driveway and a garage. I would basically lose a backyard.
The driveway would have to come.
The driveway would have to come around
Tree.
the tree, and then I would be up against the lot line of the other neighbor.
Is that the Lucentes? Or are they still there? They
No,
may not
they're
be
no
there.
longer there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions, Ted? You're not putting any open closets in this garage, are you?
Walk in.
No walk-in closets?
No, unfortunately, I live alone in that huge house. I don't need any more closet space.
You're not going to rent out then this
No,
garage?
I'm going to
and
put.
you're going to live in there?
I'm
and
going to
rent
put my
out the
car
house?
in there. I'm going to be one of the few people who actually put their car in the garage,
That's great.
along with the garbage cans that have been.
That's tough. I like the dormer, but beyond that, good luck. Let's see if there's anybody present who has any questions. Nobody is present. Anybody who wishes to speak in support of the application? Nobody is here. Anyone have either questions of the applicant or wish to speak in opposition to the application? And there is thundering silence. There's no such person present. So unless you have something more to add, we'll consider your application and vote on it here and now. Mr. Deba.
Well, good job presenting it. I mean, ideally, I think we all would like to see something that's further away from the sideline, and particularly, from the sidewalk. However, the way you've described it with the presence of the tree, and its location, its size, and its apparent age, it does seem as though there's a real problem in easily finding another location for the garage. And I can understand you wanting to have a garage, that's for sure. Sounds like the two people most affected, the Moylans and the Chews, have no objection to it. And balancing all the factors, I guess I'd like to hear what my colleagues think about it. That's what's going through my head right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Alves, please.
I agree with everything Ted said. Ideally, I would have liked to have seen photos of the tree, of the lot, so we have uncontroverted testimony of telling us that that's where that is. But to Ted's point, when I first saw this, I saw that there was some sort of shielding. That made me feel better, but it's exposed. But the most affected neighbors are in support of the application. So I feel the record is a little thin, but I'm inclined to vote in favor for this. I would have liked to have seen perhaps photo. Nice tree.
You don't have any photos on your phone or anything that would show it, do you?
The yard that shows.
I don't, but if you want, I'd be very happy to take some tomorrow and bring them
No.
in. I doubt I have anything. I can check. My phone is
that's-
usually.
That's fine, that's fine. No, that's fine. That was
As
just,
long as you were here and with people with phones, it's a lot different than.
Yep. No,
People don't
it's-
carry cameras around, but they have, they do on their phones.
Yeah, I
okay.
tend to have people's pictures.
so I'd be inclined to vote in favor.
Okay, my view is you presented a wonderful application. Technically speaking, it has some difficulties with it when you're that close to the lot line. But this is a small lot for that area. It's a relatively narrow lot, so it doesn't give you a lot of room. The tree is of great significance, at least to me. We won't have conservationists or the historical commission taking us to task for requiring the tree to be taken down to put up a garage. I think that, as Ted says, you could switch the garage to the other side of the lot, but if you did that, then it's now affecting more neighbors than less neighbors. And you're right, you're going to have the driveway to the garage taking up your backyard, and you'd be devoting the ability to pleasantly enjoy your backyard to a driveway. This eliminates the driveway to some extent, and it's probably causes, it's closer to Park Street, which obviously it doesn't meet the dimensional variances, but there's nobody living in the middle of Park Street who's going to be adversely affected. So there's no opposition to the application. The people who are most affected assent to the application, and I think that this is one of those instances where we're entrusted, at least by the town moderator and by law, to grant exceptions to the bylaw. That's why we grant variances, and we can even grant use variances of all things, which is effectively rewriting the bylaw. So I think the garage is as small as it possibly could be for the type of two-car garage you need. It's tasteful. It looks like it's going to fit in with the development of the property. So I'm inclined to exercise that discretion and grant the variance. So I guess the only thing that I'd mention is that this is not actually the garage you intend to build, but it may be close to it, or something like that. So if for whatever reason, and I assume this is reasonably consistent with the architecture of the house, so if for whatever reason you're going to dramatically change the style of the garage, like you're going to put up some, I can't think of the word now, but like a modern, an ultra-modern garage, or what are those huts that are in demand, a ute? Utes?
A yurt.
You're going to put a yurt garage or something. I think maybe you at least should let us know before you do that.
We didn't ask this, but I presume the exterior look of the garage will be consistent with that of the house. And in other words, you're not going to put a pink garage out there.
No, it's a creamy yellow house. It's going to have a creamy yellow
garage.
garage.
Everything conforming to.
It'll be conforming. I'm going to try and make this garage as low impact, as low profile as I can. I'm not interested in showcasing my garage. I just want to put my car in it.
Well, I don't blame you. We'll put something in the decision that'll say that the garage is going to be in substantial conformity with the draft here. But we will leave to Mr. Prondak, as we always do, his discretion if you're going to start to tweak it, just to make sure he sees it.
Yes.
And everyone will be happy. Yep. So, all those in favor of granting Mrs. Folk's application for a variance? Aye.
Aye.
So, congratulations.
Congratulations.
There you go.
24 years later,
Get in the garage. Hey.
That's
You
great.
still need your walk-in closet.
well,
That's next.
Take the,
I will, if I ever have a smaller house, yes. I'll walk in.
The other thing,
it'll be one large closet.
This house is actually one large closet at this point.
just harken back to what I said to the other applicants, that it's going to take us 10 to 14 days to write this. It's got to get filed 20 days before you can do anything. Then it becomes final, record it in the registry of deeds, and Mr. Prondak or Bev Sutton can help you. If you want to know where the registry of deeds is. and
I can
what
do
you-
that. I'll manage just fine, thank you.
Then your property is up to snuff,
up to
the title. So if you go to sell the property,
It
somebody
comes
won't,
with the
some
variance.
fancy Boston lawyer won't say, where did that garage come from? And how did that get there? And you have to run around and
Oh,
go.
and then,
It's a pain in the neck.
no, I will make sure that it gets recorded.
Thank you for your patience.
Oh.
Congratulations on your variance.
Thank you. As I said, 20 days is nothing. I've waited 24 years. I'm good. I'm just
Congrats.
getting tired of shoveling.
And look, well, that's the other thing, isn't it? Is we've built it over in the other corner of the lot, then you're gonna have to plow or shovel like the Dickens.
It's hard, being on a corner has interesting problems with shoveling, period. I have to do like miles of sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Nobody thinks of that.
Nobody thinks of that when you're doing it, but the lot, as you can see by that plan, the longest part of the lot line is Park Street. And fortunately for me, John Moylan is very kind and often takes his snow blower and does it
Oh, that's
as
terrific.
he's doing his. But at the same time, when there's 3 feet of snow out there,
That's difficult.
I'm getting a little long in the tooth for it.
Well, you'll have to make Mr. Moylan some cookies. Thank you.